Oh,
We're live.
we're live. So quick coach spotlight for the Burnout Coaches group. I really wanted to introduce today Francesca, who's my new friend and who is a burnout coach in Australia. Yes.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Dex. I love this. I honestly love collaboration and connection so much. And it's like all of a sudden we got to know each other. We were like working out all the back end stuff. And here we are.
Beautiful. Lovely job. Tell us about you. Introduce yourself, please.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. I've been in business 8 years now. And they say if you survive 7 years in business, you made it. I'm like, okay, then I guess I'll take that. I love it. I've started as a life coach about 8 years ago, and I didn't know how to market myself. I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know how to do any of those things. And in 9 months, I literally made $120, and I was feeling guilty about that money. So I gave the money back to the lady because I was like, I can't do this. Everybody else is free. It's not fair. And after that, I thought, okay, I need to turn this hobby into a business, or I need to go and get a job. Like, this is not gonna be possible. And so I decided to literally start a Facebook group, start a meetup group, start to grow my network, start to put myself out there. And all of a sudden I was fully booked. And then people would ask me, how did I do it? So then I started to teach people how to do it. And then I crashed from burnout. That's my story pretty much.
You make it sound like a really quick crash. I'm sure it really wasn't.
No, it was slow. And I think that, I don't know if you like get the adrenaline from speaking, but for me it was like I was doing national tours and I was always on the go. Like every week I had my bag ready and I was traveling, and I would just feel up. Like I was feeling amazing. I thought I was on top of the world, but slowly inside my actual body was like struggling. And I ended up one day, I remember, just came back from a tour and I had only 1 week to recover, and then I had a 3-day workshop to run. And I remember that day I went to the cinema and I left my dog at home, right? Go to the cinema by myself, thinking I just chill. And I still remember the movie, with the one with Lady Gaga. And I couldn't see the movie. Like, does it make sense when you're in so much pain that I couldn't even concentrate? Then I thought, oh my gosh, my belly was in like cramps. It was so bad. I ended up at the hospital. Like, literally, they took me from the cinema into the hospital, and I didn't even know what was happening. And that's when I went, okay, I can't keep working this hard. I can't do this anymore.
And when was that? How long ago?
That was December 2017.
I was about the same as me.
Really?
I hit mine in about July 2017.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I was 2 years in business.
Yeah.
What about you?
That was before, it was pre-coaching.
Right.
I was working in software development back then.
Yeah.
For startups.
Yeah, right.
So, very stressful.
It is. Like, the thing is, I am very excited about the understanding now, especially in the last few years that I've joined Brooke CEO and all of that, the understanding that overwhelm is a choice and burnout is a state of mind, and obviously then the physical body follows. But I just love that, because I started to really truly believe that the only way to success was being always busy and being like, I have to go. And if I work 20 hours a week, I'm successful. Like, rather than 20 hours a day, sorry, I'm successful. Rather than, what if I can be successful and not work as hard? Like, I honestly was one of those people that I'm actually embarrassed about it. They used to go on live and tell people, SBS, don't believe people that tell you that you can work less and make more money. It's not true. You got to work hard. You got to hustle. Like, I used to tell people that, like, oh gosh.
I think it's the stage we go through.
Yeah, I truly believed that. Like, I truly believed that the only way to success was to burn out. Yeah.
So how did that, if we cut to a bit later on then, so there must have been a moment where you recovered from your own burnout and decided to work with other people in burnout. How did that happen? Who do you work with now?
Well, the thing is, for me, it's been vital to, I want to first walk my talk. So since 2017 until now, it's been a journey of me understanding how to do that. and not at a superficial level, but like in a depth level. So I want to make sure that I know exactly how to work 4 days a week, 6 hours a day, and have $1 million business, rather than tell people, oh yeah, you can do it, but I haven't done it yet. Like I'm working 20 hours a day, but you can work less and make more money. Like I just want to make sure that I walk my talk, and I always have done that in everything that I've taught people. So I truly had to, like, for me, having my own coach and really help me understand that I come from an Italian family. I don't know if that's what it is. There's like this hustling, like working hard, and like my dad used to be the last one. He would be proud of saying, "I'm the first one in the office, and I'm the last one in the office." He was proud of it, right? And now I'm understanding that it's like, actually, I'm way more productive when I work less.
Yeah.
Right? And I get so much more done when I work less. So for me, it's been a journey of me learning that. And then obviously, I think that I didn't choose to work with burnout people. I think that half of the world is burnout.
At
Right?
least half, I would say, and it's escalating quite rapidly,
Right. Maybe
particularly
more.
as the cultural climate's changed, and we've had COVID and all the disruption of that.
Yeah. By the way, we have some people watching us. Hi. If you're here, just say hi to us. Let us know where you're watching from. So cool. I just
How
saw
can
some.
you see that? I can't see that.
There's like a live two people, so there's two people watching.
Oh, good. How
Yeah.
marvelous.
But you
So
can't see
two
on
live
Zoom.
people.
I've got this open on my other screen. I've got us there, so I can see everything.
I've got it and it says play, and I don't want to hit play in case your voice starts coming out and we get you.
Oh, yeah, I put it as like muted. So I put the volume down and then I press that. Everybody watching this will be like, what are these guys going on about? We're a little bit geeky.
We've gone a bit geeky, and also it's my first effort at doing a Facebook Live interview like this, so I don't want to
It's
stuff
fun.
anything up. We'll hand it back over. Francesca, you go. So tell us then. Tell us your secrets. Tell us all your secret sauce.
Look,
How you work with people.
it's how I work with people. Look, for me, the first thing that we need to look at is, why do we choose to say I'm overwhelmed? Why do we choose to say I'm burnout? Why would we choose? What is the benefit? What's the upside of that? So the first thing that I do is truly understand why. Because for me, and I always like to bring it back to me, because obviously I believe that I can only help someone if I've been through that. And for me, it was a little bit of a reward. It's like, if I said to people that I was tired and burnt out and my adrenals fatigue and all of those things, then they will feel sorry for me and I will feel special and loved. So that was my story. So I usually work with that with my clients first. I'm going like, okay, what is the benefit of that? And at least if we know, there's no right or wrong, like it's okay. Like being a victim is part of seeking love, right? So it was a pattern for me of like, if I say to people that I'm tired and burnt out and I work really hard, then I can justify why I'm making $1 million business. And then I don't feel guilty about making money. And so, because I'm making money, but look at me, I'm miserable and burnt out and overweight and single. Like, at least I was like, I had a stack of things. So that people didn't feel that I was like this high, perfect type of person. Like I didn't want that. And so I usually try to share that with my clients to see, like, is there any truth in what I'm sharing? Do you feel that you share your burnout stories so that people feel sorry for you, so that you feel loved? And if that's the case, then how can we feel loved without going through, the reality of
Really
that?
interesting.
Yeah, because it's fascinating, right? That's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for success so that we can be approved or loved by someone else. But then we're also looking for that, other version.
So that's where you start.
Yeah.
And have you got any areas of particular focus when you're working with people?
Look, I because I've got a group program, so I take people through that, like in a group. And usually when one person starts sharing about burnout, is like, there's like oh, me too. And then we have this thing in common, right? And the people are excited about all being burnt out together. And I sort of like to burst the bubble. Right. And like, it's not like a award. Like, yeah, you're burnt out. That means you're a good worker, a hard worker, like, right? But in the same time, I also want people to go back to the truth, or like, I don't want my people to then become the opposite, that are like, I need to work with the flow and I need to work whenever I want. And like, I don't want to go to the complete opposite, because a lot of people that go through burnout, then they get terrified of any type of scheduling, any type of, right,
Oh,
commitment.
really?
I've noticed that. Have you not noticed that?
No, most of the people that I work with are terrified that their standards will drop and they'll get lazy.
Oh,
So they're
wow.
still good at scheduling. They're still,
Instead, the people that I work with, they go to the opposite. They go like, I now, because I've been burnt out before, I don't want to have any scheduling. I don't want to any, I just want to be free. And so then it's a matter of me teaching them that freedom comes with scheduling. Like, the reason why they burn out is because they were working 12 hours a day, but those 12 hours were not productive. So if we
right.
actually choose to work 3 or 4 hours a day, but we make them count, then you can get way more productive than what you would do in 12 hours. So
Yes.
yeah, so you don't find that. That's interesting.
No, but I work with men, so I'm curious about you.
I work with women.
I work with executive men.
Aha. Then I would understand that for sure, right? Instead, I work with women that have also a family and kids. So now they go like, I don't want to go there anymore because my kids need me. So now I'm just gonna be completely opposed to all those things. How interesting is that?
Yeah, I find it quite fascinating, the difference between working with men and women in burnout, because it's really quite marked. And I think it's the way we're socialized to have certain expectations of who we are and how we're going to behave in life and what's our corner to protect is a little bit different between men and women. And I would never say that men don't care about their families. They're as invested in their families as you might imagine, and wanting to spend time and energy with their families. But when it comes to work, that's such a part of their identity.
Yep. And their identity is to provide. So they're probably afraid that if they don't work hard, they're not going to be able to provide, which takes away the masculinity, right?
Yeah. So I think it's quite interesting.
It is. And instead, for women, when we go through burnout, is because we think that we were masculine. And so then we go on total opposite, like, I want to be feminine now, which means I'm going to go with the flow and I'm going to be completely opposite, rather than choose to leverage on both. I can use my masculine energy at times when I've got those 3 hours to do work, and then I can be feminine the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think also men don't have quite the same kind of expectation that they have to care for every single other person's emotional needs before they start looking after themselves, that women in burnout tend to suffer very much from that. I must look after every single human and I come last.
Yeah.
So kind of, it's not surprising they want to flip back into, that couch is looking quite good right now. For that yoga class the last 2 hours.
Yeah. And also, like, I feel sometimes it's also an age thing. Like, I work with a lot of women that are at my age and they haven't had kids yet, and so they have their maternity, they feel they want to look after someone, but they haven't got that yet. So there's that fight of going, do I continue working on my business, or do I put myself out there to start a family, to do all of that, because by now I should be there. And so there is that other thing that we don't believe that we can have both.
Yeah. So you're working with entrepreneurs, right? People with their own business.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of people in the legal, medical, accounting, finance, big industry, consulting.
Right.
So women in those areas tend to feel very strongly that it's their role to, they have a strong support role to all of the other people who are working around them, as well as at home in their families and every other part of their lives. But I think being an entrepreneur, even being an entrepreneur is very different, I think, in terms of a masculine role and a feminine role.
Yeah, absolutely. This is so fascinating. I would love to know other people watching this, even as a replay. Just tell us what about you? Like, you work with male, female, do you resonate with what you were saying? I would love to come back later on and have a look at this, because it would be so good. Because it's fascinating, like, how we work on the same thing, but it's like different angles.
Well, that's partly why I'm doing these spotlights, because then I can get to hear every hopefully I'll work with a number of coaches on these interviews, and then we can start teasing out the specialist kind of dynamics of their people and how they work with those dynamics.
Yeah. And so then when we look into do you also go through practical thing with them, or you just work on the mindset? That's the most important part.
I worked initially on a lot of self-relationship and mindset, but the second half of my program is all about business strategy and exploding their career or their business or their promotion prospects or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think it all starts with self-relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do the same. So I work
see Alice's comment in the box here.
Oh, there we go, Alice.
Can you see?
Yes. Women in burnout may be people pleaser too, and not let the men share tasks. Oh yeah. Hi from Belgium. So good to see you, Alice. Love it. Yes, then I do that. So I do first understand what burns out, like what's the benefit of that, and then we work on like how to overcome that, and then I'll go through like scheduling solutions on like, you know, how we can actually make the most out of your time, so time management and all those things. And then for the people that have got a big enough business, so then from there there's like two sort of direction. One is like I teach them how to do the marketing and all of that, and one I teach them how to delegate to a virtual assistant so they don't have to do all of them by themselves. So there is a practical solution like you have at the end of my program. But if we don't sort out the first, because a lot of people come to me burnt out saying, I've seen that you got a virtual assistant, give me a virtual assistant. What is it? I'm like, no, but wait. The virtual assistant is not the solution to your problem, because if you're burnt out and you're overwhelmed and you're avoiding working, like you're trying to give this hot potato to someone, it's not going to work. Like you need to work with the virtual assistant. We need to work on first your mindset, everything that you do, and then we can go, okay, now that yourself sorted, then we can look at the next step.
Yeah, when you're saying that, I mean, to me, there's a self-honoring part of that process as well. You've got to honor and respect and take care for yourself, and then you can wheel in a VA to help you out with whatever the practical stuff is.
Yeah, but
I think if we give people with burnout too much action-oriented stuff to do, they're just going to eat it with a bigger and bigger spoon and stay in the same position. I think.
And sometimes keep blaming, right? Because a lot of people in burnout, they're blaming circumstances why they are in burnout. So if you give them a virtual assistant where they're already burnt out, they're going to blame the virtual assistant for giving them even more burnout. Which is like, oh my gosh, no, that's not how it rolls. So yeah, fascinating, very fascinating. But you know, like I think that the biggest thing for me, the biggest learning of my own journey was the attachment to the meaning of success. To me, success was working hard. And I'm still catching myself at times of feeling guilty. Like when people ask me, like literally this morning, someone from Canada want to work with me. And they said, can you do, you know, our time zone is really not matching at the moment. And I either have to work early or they have to work late. Like someone needs to give it a go. And so I was like, okay, I can work earlier. I usually start at 10, so I can do 8, but I can't do more than 8. And then I thought, oh, I feel guilty. Like if I want the business, I should work at 5 or 4 o'clock in the morning and make them happy. And it's fascinating how that all comes from that. You know, if you want to be a good coach and a good business owner, you have to please. And yes, Alice, exactly what she was saying, people pleasing, right?
Yeah, I think it's always a trap we can fall into as coaches, as humans.
Yeah.
So we're so sort of incubated in that whole culture of overwork, and everybody has to be in the top 1%, which I think is statistically rather challenging.
But then also like the 1%, why do we choose to believe that the 1% are people working long hours? Are they?
Depends which 1% you look at.
Yeah.
But the hustle culture is quite big in the marketing area, isn't it, really?
It is, huh?
Anyhow. Okay, so any top tips you want to share with people before we sign off today? It's been fascinating hearing from you, I must say.
Sure. Well, for me, the top tip was to truly what I said before, right? So to truly discover the meaning of success to me, and why did I have to choose to believe that success was that? So if you're having a client, like, really make them, it's the most valuable question, and to truly go like, why do you choose to say out loud that you're tired, that you're overwhelmed, that you're stressed out? And I remember that, actually, one more thing I wanted to share. I went to a naturopath and they did like an adrenal fatigue test, and apparently I had that. And that was my like award. Like, I went out to everybody say, I'm here and I'm on this stage and I've got adrenal fatigue. Like, and now I was feeling like I could connect with people more, because it's like, look at me, like, I'm struggling here, but I'm still giving, I'm still teaching, I'm still showing up, which was fascinating. And I wonder if this is something that we do in the world, is like, we find way to connect with others, but in a negative way, rather than, can I connect with others, can I resonate with others by not like keeping an award, something that is actually shouldn't be an award.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you then, I'm quite curious, how do you define success now for you?
Look, the true success for me right now is accomplishing what you truly want. So I always wanted to work less and make more, and I never believed it was possible. So I was settling for working hard and making a lot. So for me, true success is true freedom and lifestyle. And when I say true freedom, I don't mean like, if today I wake up and I don't feel like working, don't work. That's not freedom. But be able to schedule whatever I want. Like, for example, in June, I'm taking 4 weeks and I'm going to Italy. And those 4 weeks, I'm not going to be working at all. And in March, I might be going back to Miami. Maybe it is a course that I want to go to. And I'm like, maybe I'll make it happen. And it's my goal. But again, the freedom to be able to say, you know what, from now to March, I can still work 4 days a week and 6 hours a day and still achieve my goal to go to Miami. Does it make sense? So that to me is a real freedom. In the past, there's a real success. In the past, I used to be like, if I want to go to March event, I'm going to work 12 hours a day, every day, to achieve my goal so that I can go there. And that's not, one, it's not feminine, and two, it's just gets burnt out, right?
Yeah. Gosh, well, I'm really glad. I'm going to sign off today, so I don't want to keep you too long. I've already kept you for hours, but
Okay.
Fascinating to hear from you today. I'm sure we'll get some comments on this as well. If anybody else would like to come and be on the Coach Spotlight, there's a little form on the Burnout Coaches group. Francesca, thank you so much for your time today. It has been delightful to meet up with you.
Thank you, Dex. Thank you so much for having me. And anytime, let's connect and let's, do things together. Always great to have connection in the coaching world. So thank you so much for having me and for being the first person. I'm so honored.
It was sitting in the right place at the right time.
I know. Everybody, make sure that you put your name in here. It's a great experience, and Dex is so lovely. So great to know you.
Yeah, it'll be lovely to do, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Francesca. See you next time.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Bye.